no protests to be entertained by Port Moresby Police. Call for institutions to recruit qualified graduates. And PNG Kumuls hold on to beat Fiji Batis in a thriller.
This is National EMTV News with Mary Bartolo.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for Sunday's news. Rumours of a protest march tomorrow have been brushed aside by NCD and Central Divisional Commander Sylvester Kalaut this afternoon. Kalaut said no approval was given by authorities for any protest. He said any protest being held in public areas, protesters will be arrested and charged for unlawful assembly.
Commander Kalaut stated the police would ensure public safety and no protests will be entertained.
I'd like to make it clear to all the public and even the students that there will be no protest march. Protest march, as the students and everybody out there, every citizen of this country, we must know that there are processes involved in applying for a permit to be given for any one group or any one person to conduct a protest.
This comes after a notice was posted by the civil society and UPNG students on social media, calling on all schools in NCD to suspend classes on Monday and to meet at the Unagi Oval to hold a peaceful protest. However, UPNG SRC has denied that they will be staging a protest on Monday, and the notice was not authorized by them. Kalaut says these posts have now caused anxiety amongst the public and police will be out in full force.
One of us is to talk about the warrant of arrest for the Prime Minister and also propagate issues to cause problems, then we will be in contempt because the higher courts have put a stay on the warrant of arrest, and those are matters for the courts to deal with. Once those matters are cleared, then we know that the law will apply, but not at this point in time, and we are creating unnecessary anxiety amongst our people.
UPNG SRC is currently trying to hold a referendum to see whether or not to stage a protest. MTV asked Commander Kalaut that if the UPNG protest did apply to hold a peaceful protest after the referendum, would the students be able to hold a peaceful protest?
Legal processes as per the Peace and Good Order Act, once the approval is given, it will be given with conditions as to how they are going to do it. But at this point in time, there is no such approval. But if they are going to conduct a referendum, let's do it right, let's do it properly.
Adelaide Xerox Kari National, MTV News.
Meanwhile, the NCD and Central Divisional Commander has announced that the National Fraud Office will be open tomorrow. Commander Kalaut said Police Commissioner Gary Baki will meet with the fraud squad officers and will reopen the office under certain conditions.
The fraud squad office will be open as of tomorrow. All the members of the fraud squad will be called, and there will be a meeting tomorrow at police headquarters with the two deputy commissioners with some conditions for the office, and the office will be opened.
Moving on, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill has asked the University of Papua New Guinea students to go back to class. In a statement released this afternoon, O'Neill says students should not sacrifice their education and disrespect their parents who have invested in them. He asked them not to allow others to influence them, but asked every student to go back to class as their education was a priority. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill said the matters raised by students are in court and students should respect the law and let the law take its course. The Teaching Services Commission is impressed with the quality of graduates produced by the Don Bosco Technological Institute. Chairman Baran Sori says that these graduates admitted to the teaching service influence young people to make a difference in communities, and the Teaching Services Commission has guaranteed more graduates will be recruited from the Don Bosco Technological Institute.
The Teaching Service Commission is satisfied with the teacher graduates from the Don Bosco Technological Institute. Don Bosco, a Catholic-run educational institution amalgamated with Divine University, with the Bachelor in Education program, has nurtured its students with values and professional ethics, Mr. Sori says.
We see that this institution is unique in the country, and not only train but also qualified graduates into the teaching service.
With the values, Don Bosco's teachers are some of the best, Mr. Sori says, and influence young people in the teaching to prosper in life for their benefit, the society and the nation. Mr. Sori says the Teaching Service Commission will approve the admission into the teaching service.
We want to see more graduates coming out from institutions like this, and not only train people with trade skills, but also prepare them to teach.
Mr. Sori also called to other educational institutions to train their students on holistic approach. Fabian Hakelitz, National MTV News.
You're watching National MTV News. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National MTV News. A report into the investigations into the Western Highlands Provincial Health Authority will be handed to Health Minister Michael Malabag this week. Health Secretary Pasco Kase says the Committee of Inquiry has completed its task and finalized the report. Mr. Kase thanked health workers for resuming duties and continuing to serve the people of Western Highlands Province.
And when the report comes down, then we will announce. But I must appreciate and thank the leadership of the National Doctors Association, the Nurses Association, and all the other associations in Western Highlands and Papua New Guinea for understanding the call of our country by making sure that workers are available to provide health services to our people. So I thank the leadership for their understanding.
Papua New Guinea needs to start planting forest plantations to achieve its medium to long-term plan in line with the Vision 2050. However, this is not happening due to unavailability of funds to secure land and landowners reluctant to release land for plantation development. The National Forest Authority is now conducting regional workshops with the aim of opening up dialogue with landowners and responsible authorities for free land for trees.
The Alata workshop is the recent regional workshop held to drive the message to respective agencies to partner with the PNG Forest Authority for a multiple land use concept. For PNG, a target of 800,000 hectares of forest needs to be planted by 2050. But to date, PNG is running below the 60,000 hectares mark. Minister responsible Douglas Tumuriesa says better understanding between agency and stakeholders is needed to achieve this target.
Beginning to talk and liaise and communicate with landowners to make them understand the importance of tree planting in this country. To make them know that without trees in your soil, you will continuously to have floods, you continue to have erosions and also and so.
PNGFA is now embarking to introduce a new concept called the multi-purpose plantations. This concept is the integration of forest plantation development whereby agriculture crops will be planted with trees. While trees will take time to grow, the crops will sustain landowners through sale of crops or for consumption.
Because most of us own land. Most of us have that opportunity to plant something. If you haven't planted anything, or even if you have not raised any seedlings, you need to ask yourself why.
To meet the 800,000 hectares of trees, all 21 provinces are expected to plant 11,000 trees per year, a target NFA believes can be achievable despite obstacles. More to that, proper policy framework needs to be in place to guide the National Forest Authority.
But if we don't have a sufficient structure, corporate structure, to run this operation, we have a problem. So we have proposed in the new corporate plan that we must create a new directorate called Forest Plantation Development and Management Directorate.
Similar regional workshops have been conducted for New Guinea Islands in October 2015 and for the Highlands region early this year. Jacob Power Jr., National MTV News.
There needs to be more investment in sustainable industries such as tourism and agriculture to develop the country's economy. Tourism Minister Tobias Kulang stated these at the recent launching of the PNG Tourism Promotion Authority Cultural and Special Events Information Guide. To complement the events guide, the Tourism Promotion Authority developed a wall calendar displaying all the events in the booklet.
The Cultural and Special Events Information Guide is a first for the PNG Tourism Promotion Authority. It features multiple cultural festivals and events that will take place in the country for this year. It also provides information of special events such as the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, PNG Games in West New Britain, and APAC meetings. PNG Tourism Promotion Authority Acting Chief Executive Officer Eric Mosman Uvovo says there are important events that if promoted and marketed well, it will bring more people into the country.
In this country, a lot of very important and significant events will take place from 2016 going forward all the way to 2018. And it is our initiative to ensure that we showcase Papua New Guinea to the rest of the world.
Tourism Minister Tobias Kulang says the information guide will enhance the PNG TPA to market tourism in terms of a predictable, systematic and structural way.
I want to also say at this juncture that marketing has been a mediocre approach in TPA. Okay, we're paying lip service. Marketing is non-existent, and today also marks a turn in the way we do things. We want to lift our game in marketing. When oil and gas, gold and copper goes, we will fall back on tourism. We need to start dealing with tourism in a serious manner.
Marilyn Diaukatam, National EMTV News.
Papua New Guinea will soon withdraw the ban of visa on arrival for Australian tourists. This was announced by Tourism Minister Tobias Kulang. According to the PNG Tourism Promotion Authority, since the ban of the Australian tourist visa into the country, there has been a decline in the tourism numbers of Australians coming into the country.
We realize there's an impediment to attracting visitors from our nearest neighbors. So I wish to announce today that we will reinstate visa on arrival for our Australian friends. This issue is going to go to Cabinet, and once the Cabinet has endorsed it, it will go through the normal process where now the visas will be processed on arrival. But I want to announce on behalf of the Prime Minister Peter O'Neill.
The inaugural Rigo Women in Business Expo 2016 was held from the 6th to the 7th of this month at the Kwikala station. The expo targeted the rural women who struggle to build small businesses. For these women, it was the perfect opportunity for them to showcase their products.
Rigo District has hosted the first of its kind District Expo for Women in Business. The Rigo Women in Business was founded by President Janet Badira with the aim of assisting the local women who struggle daily to build a small business and make that hard-earned one kina.
This little organization we started is because of the issues that women in the communities we have. Such as we facing each day, like challenges we face each day.
The expo provided the perfect opportunity for these women who come from all over Rigo District to showcase their products and market them to prospective customers. Prior to the expo, upon registration with the organization as part of the nation's strategy towards financial inclusion, the women also took part in financial literacy training run by the ANZ Bank.
Upon the registration, we organized for the training with ANZ, who facilitated Go Money. And then they also opened their accounts. The local women who are registered opened their Go Money accounts with ANZ through phone banking.
And now, seeing the successful turnout of support for this expo, President Janet Badira and her officials now plan to make the expo an annual event that is to be held during the Mother's Day weekend. Hope Imaka, National EMTV News.
The Teaching Service Commission has reaffirmed its direction executed in 2013 for all technical, vocational, education and training or TVET institutions to recruit qualified graduates. Chairman Baran Sori says this is a requirement of employment that is part of the directions from the TSC. Mr. Sori says that the focus is to have a more skilled and knowledgeable population to convert the country's resources into growth.
Mr. Sori says in 2013 the Teaching Service Commission, on behalf of the Government of Papua New Guinea and the PNG Teachers Association, made an agreement on the entry qualification appointment of teacher graduates into the TVET sector. The requirement was for graduates with degrees to be admitted into the teaching service. This includes those with industry qualification to do postgraduate programs to qualify to teach.
In order that we have more young Papua New Guineans gain skills.
While the Teaching Service Commission understands the need for more trade skills, but Mr. Sori says that it's a requirement that must be followed.
Today, we still have many more diplomas teaching in our technical institutions.
Mr. Sori says the concern is to recruit growth with the current structure of the Teaching Service Commission. Fabian Hakelitz, National MTV News.
You're watching National MTV News. Trukai Sports is next. We have highlights of the historic PNG Kumuls win over the Fiji Batis, among others. All the details after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The stinging defense of David Mead and the flair of the Boas brothers have inspired PNG to its first win over Fiji, 24-22 at Pertek Stadium. The Kumuls' epic win over Fiji wasn't just their best performance in a long time, it was their first win away from home soil in 16 years.
A special and emotional pre-match routine as Fiji belted out a hymn. But the 2013 World Cup semi-finalists find themselves behind. The Kumuls, given their early dominance, it came as no surprise that the Kumuls were first to score.
It's the kicker opening the scoring for PNG.
A powerful charge from wrecking ball Luke Page off the kickoff, followed by a clean line break by Mead, put the Kumuls straight back on the attack, before a penalty allowed them to push their lead out to 8 points. However, Fiji's experience started to show. Roosters' Eloni Vunakesi charged onto an inside ball from number 7 Maurice Kennedy before a penalty goal leveled the score shortly after.
Fiji get their first try and a big week just got...
PNG went close to retaking the lead, but reserve Brandy Peter couldn't handle a great offload from veteran Rod Griffin.
Who lost the ball as he crossed the line.
Instead, it was the Fijians who kicked clear, courtesy of the boot of Sitivani Modernreki and the magical ends of Etuyati Yonemakawa, who combined for 2 special tries to give Fiji a lead 16-8 at the break. But PNG came out all guns blazing after the break to hit back just 2 minutes into the second stanza.
Around the ruck and crashing through the ball. They've come up with another...
Having pulled 2 within 2 points of the lead, the Kumuls then found themselves in front by the same margin 10 minutes later as Boas, who was stationed at the right center, ran onto a perfectly timed pass from number 9 Wartovo Puera to grab his second of the evening. The pin-sized halfback almost had his stand 3 minutes later, but was correctly penalized for a double movement, much to the dismay of the PNG fans. Fiji went very close to reclaiming the lead on the hour mark, when some incredible hands down the left released the red-hot Ioni Makawa, but the winger couldn't control the ball as he went to ground.
The referee straight into position to say no. Well, he did say no, but he's...
With the game in the balance, it was fitting that Puera stepped up when his side needed him most, dancing across the field before linking up with Nene McDonald, who charged through to make it an 8-point game inside the final 10 minutes.
Rounding up his hooker, and Nene, it is 5th game.
There was one final nervous moment as Fiji scored late to close the gap to 2 points. But Kumuls Spine proved the difference in the end to win 24-22, with the halfback Watson Boas scoring a double, his brother Ase kicking 4 goals.
PNG celebrate a famous victory.
And hooker Wartovo Puera Jr. proving a handful whenever he touched the ball with 2 try assists. Shane Saroya, National MTV Sports.
Well, it's not your regular sort of sport, but the skills and passion remain the same, as well as the quality of competition. The 675 gaming community hosted its biggest gaming tournament with 32 avid gamers competing against each other on a virtual football pitch, determined to score as many goals against each other and grab a chance to win 1,000 kina in prize money. The gamers pitted against each other in a tournament-style competition using the world's best teams and fastest fingers available, all vying for the chance to be the gaming champion.
Yeah, FIFA is one of the most popular video games, full stop, to date. The FIFA series has been EA Sports' biggest investment, and in PNG I find FIFA and soccer it's a part of PNG's subculture. Yes, rugby league is our national sport, but you'll find that there are so many kids, so much youth that are playing soccer, and we put on FIFA today because we wanted to attract that youth, that demographic of people from 15 to 25 years old. We wanted them to come today and hear the message that we had to spread regarding cancer.
And that ends Trukai Sports. We'll have further weather details up next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Taking a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours in the southern region. Port Moresby fine apart from early morning fog inland, mostly fine across the rest of the region. To the Momasa region, a shower or two expected in Lae, Wau, Madang, Wewak and Vanimo. To the New Guinea Islands region, showers expected all across the region. And in the Highlands region, fine in Goroka, brief showers expected in Wabeg, Mendi, Kundiawa and Mount Hagen, and all the centers to expect morning fog as well. And that's the news, sports and weather for today, Sunday the 8th of May 2016. Have a pleasant working week. Good night.